Welcome back to Circular Quay. Today is the 20th of February 2025 and we are finishing our summer of cruising exactly where we started, with Ovation of the Seas. This is going to be a little bit of a different cruise for us because for the first time in a very long time we're travelling with friends. So this is going to be something a little bit different and hopefully a lot of fun. Will we get on board?
Let's go.
Do you know what never gets old? When you're here, you head to the line and somebody kindly says, backdrop, this way. That's really cool. We're going on a ship!
We're going on a ship!
The legends at the Overseas Passenger Terminal got all four of us on board faster than you can say bon voyage, and we were ready for some serious fun, but our first job was to hunt down our cabins. After what felt like a 10-mile trek, well okay, maybe not that far, but we did find our home for the weekend. Cabin 7518, an obstructed view balcony right at the front starboard side. Pro tip here, if you're counting your steps on a fitness tracker, this spot's a goldmine. Okay, let's peek inside. This is classic Royal Caribbean. It's spacious, cosy, and just what we needed. Want the full scoop on this cabin, including our obstructed balcony view? Check out our detailed cabin tour on the channel. As the afternoon rolled on, the ship buzzed with sail away vibes. Everyone was in full party mode. We snagged a great spot with amazing views right at the back. The excitement grew as the pilot boats arrived. You know, I always thought they just guided us out, but in Circular Quay, the tugs actually pull these massive ships. I picked up that little gem on my all-access tour, but more about that later. But check this out and see how much silt those thrusters can kick up. No wonder they enforced the tug rule here. The boys were itching to hit the dodgem cars in the Seaplex, so we rocked up 20 minutes early. Huge rookie mistake. That queue was longer than the ship itself. Well, okay, maybe not, but it was huge. Mike scoped it out and they'd been waiting for 45 minutes. So word to the wise, either splurge on the Quay VIP package because they got a private session, or get there way earlier than we did. So after that, day one got a little blurry. Think singing, dancing, cocktails galore, and a massive pizza binge. We were all lights out by 10 PM. Classy, right?
The next day.
Thank goodness for that early night. Day two started early with a proper brekkie in the dining room. Mike went all in with a full cooked breakfast and I treated myself to Eggs Benedict. Yum! It was a sea day, so while the gang hunted for coffee, I had something epic lined up. The all-access ship tour. Cruise ships are a passenger's playground, full of fun, food and relaxation on tap. But for the crew, well, it's home, isn't it? And it's also where they work. And normally we only catch a sneak glimpse of their world, like when a crew door swings open. So I splashed out on the all-access tour to uncover what keeps this floating city ticking. Now this isn't a cheap tour, but it is well worth it. I'll cover the cost at the end. Sadly, no video allowed, but I did snap a ton of pics, so let's dive in. First up, the theatre. Two of the entertainment crew welcomed us on stage. Can you imagine belting out a tune or nailing a dance leap while the ship's rocking and the stage is shifting? We also peeked into the dressing rooms, pure chaos and costumes everywhere. Next, the laundry, a steamy 24/7 operation with massive machines churning through mountains of linens, uniforms and even guest clothes. There's a tunnel washer in there that looks like something out of a sci-fi flick. It's hot and it's loud and it never stops. Then into the engine control room, the ship's beating heart. The officer who talked us through all these complicated systems that make this floating city work has actually been working in here since Ovation's maiden voyage in 2016. I'm sure they let him out sometimes. The bridge was next, Command Central. It's so quiet in there you could hear a pin drop, and yet they're steering this beast with radar and bow thrusters and azipods. I even braved the glass floor, which is impressive. This is what the officers use when they're docking the ship. In the galley, we saw the food magic happen. Food safety's intense in here, and the scale is insane, it's massive. We watched the pastry chefs whipping up desserts, and you know that bakery never sleeps. We hit the I-95, the cruise highway below decks. Tiny cabins, a bike rental for port days and a bartering system. Haircuts for favours, who knew? It's a whole city down here. The storerooms, packed with food and drinks, all temperature controlled and locked tight. This was a short cruise, so they weren't overflowing, but can you imagine what a Trans-Pacific haul would look like? Last stop was the environmental room, where waste management, water treatment and sustainability were discussed. Did you know that every crew member's trained up on this? Royal Caribbean is serious about being green. Reunited with the gang, we hit 270 for trivia and games, which is always a laugh. And then it was pool deck time for some pool games in the sunshine. My favourite spot? On a daybed in the solarium, cocktail in hand and vibes on point. It's a beautiful warm space, and after walking the length and breadth of the ship on my tour, I was ready for a nap. Back in the cabin, we watched the waves from our balcony before getting ready for chic night. Not everybody dresses up these days, but we love it. Some people stayed in their shorts and t-shirts, others get fully glammed up. The boys rocked their kilts, looking very sharp indeed. There's no pressure. Cruising's all about doing you. Dinner was at Chops Grill, the specialty dining restaurant, and a first for us. The meal was amazing. It was quite hard to choose actually from such a great menu, but every plate was delicious, and we highly recommend a visit to Chops Grill. To burn off that dinner, we hit the music hall. Blackjack Mexico are the house band, and they absolutely slayed. Best band I've seen on a ship by far. We noticed the room getting extra busy, and then security appeared in corners and on the stage. So we decided at this point it was time to leave and have a quiet nightcap in the casino, and it's just as well we did. It turns out there was a bit of trouble after we left, and rumour has it that certain people were locked in their cabins that night and escorted off the ship by police following morning. Eek! Thankfully, our night had ended up a lot quieter than theirs. And did I tell you how long that walk back to our cabin was? This cruise was originally a cruise to nowhere, and we were surprised a few weeks out from departure when Eden in New South Wales had appeared as a port stop for us. Now, I'll be honest, we've been to Eden a few times in the past year, and whilst it's a beautiful little town, we weren't really planning to get off the ship this time. However, that all changed when we discovered that Eden was hosting its annual festival called A Taste of Eden. And this year, to celebrate the inaugural visit of the Ovation of the Seas to Eden, Royal Caribbean were one of the sponsors. Our day started with a warm welcome from the town crier.
Once again, a very warm welcome to Eden! God bless Australia! Hey.
And as we had 9:45 a.m. bus tickets to the festival, we were up and off the ship bright and early, only to be met with a huge queue around the dock, because it turns out that everyone had a 9:45 a.m. ticket.
How'd you feel about standing in the queue?
Hey, disaster.
Disaster in Eden.
Disaster in Eden.
Thankfully, it looked a lot worse than it was, because there was what seemed like an endless supply of coaches, and before we knew it, we were on our way. Now, Eden itself is a really pretty place. It's centred around a single main street full of shops and cafes, and it also has a popular whaling museum. There are some really great excursions to be had in the local area too, so don't miss out if you're heading there. The festival was held at the Seahorse Inn, which is a beautiful boutique hotel on the beachfront at Twofold Bay, which dates back to the 1840s. The hotel's gardens were transformed, with one side dedicated to local market sellers and the other to amazing food. Inside the hotel, there were more local arts and crafts sellers, as well as local brewers, and an amazing band who entertained us all day long. Plus, Royal Caribbean had provided beach toys, so generally it was a beautiful and relaxed sunny day. Back on board, we had pre-show drinks in vintages. Who knew you could order food from Jamie's Italian in there? The show that night was a gala performance of the ship's singers. They all had fantastic voices, but I'll be honest, it wasn't the most exciting show. With hungry bellies, we then headed to the dining room for dinner. We really enjoyed the main dining room food on Ovation this time around, And to cap it all, the wait staff came and serenaded us all and got us all up dancing, which was so much fun. Okay, I need to absolutely end this video with an apology to Royal Caribbean. In our last Ovation of the Seas video, we said to not waste your money on the Bionic Bar. However, on this trip, after a few cocktails that missed the mark, Andy pointed out that every single drink he'd ordered from the Bionic Bar was consistently great. So much so, he never ordered another cocktail from anywhere else. We're really sorry, Mix and Mingle. We're converts, and we love you. So how much did all this cost? The basic cost of this 3-night cruise was $1,710.94. On top of that, we added premium Wi-Fi for 2 devices, that dinner in Chops Grill, 2 tickets to the Taste of Eden Festival, and the all-access ship tour, bringing our grand total to $2,282.55 plus drinks. So the total cost per person per night was $380.45. That's it for our whirlwind weekend on Ovation of the Seas. Sadly, she's leaving Australia just now, but maybe we'll chase her to Alaska one day. Have you cruised on Ovation of the Seas? Tell us below your favourite cruise moments from her. Drop it below in the comments, and we really do read every single one. Thanks for watching the video. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more content, and we'll see you next time.